My name is Eugene Wentworth, and I am a performance expert with the Fort Riley R2 Performance Center, a part of the Army Resilience Directorate. And I'm here today to talk to you about the MRT skills of mental games and real-time resilience. And both these skills are used to get back to your performances when you're having counterproductive thoughts. They're to stop your counterproductive thoughts and allow you to get back to the task at hand and take purposeful action. So we're going to start with mental games. And mental games is when we compartmentalize that counterproductive thought you're having. And I'm saying counterproductive instead of positive or negative because counterproductive thoughts can be positive. They're just the thoughts that take you away from that task. So mental games are compartmentalizing this counterproductive thought to deal with it at a later time. So some examples of mental games are, it just has to be something that's fun and engaging. So it can totally distract you from that counterproductive thought that you're having. This can be a number game where you count down from 1,000 by sevens, the celebrity name game, or just some distracting song lyrics, some upbeat lyrics that really take you away from that counterproductive thought. Alternatively, we have a real-time resilience. And in real-time resilience, this is when that counterproductive thought needs to be challenged head-on in that moment. You don't have time to compartmentalize it. You need to attack it head-on right away. So this is different from mental games. Mental games, you're dealing with it later. Real-time resilience, in the moment you're taking it on. And I like to think of this as a mental boxing match. And that's why I drew these gloves on the board behind me. It's a boxing match that's happening within your mind. So that counterproductive thought is always going to land that first punch. But what you need to do is combat that counterproductive thought with a productive thought that's totally going to knock out that counterproductive thought. You do this by bringing evidence, optimism, and perspective to the situation. So that counterproductive thought occurs, you're going to say a statement that brings evidence to the situation. That's not completely true because, and then you're bringing specific evidence about how you can overcome that counterproductive thought. You can also bring optimism to the situation by saying a more optimistic way of seeing this, and you're just trying to see the situation in a better light. What is generally going to happen? What is a more optimistic way of seeing this? And finally, you can bring some perspective to the situation by saying the most likely implication is, and then what can you do about it? So this is just putting the situation into a clearer image. This is what's likely to occur. What is the plan that I can have internally to overcome it? These are sentence starters that you can use. So if you have that counterproductive thought, if you want to bring specific evidence, optimism, or perspective to the situation, I encourage you to try these sentence starters because they will allow you to bring specific information to the table to completely counteract that counterproductive thought. This is a skill that can become personalizable though. The more you deliberately use the skill, you'll find which sentence starters work for you or what statements really truly resonate with you so that as you use this skill over time, these are just starters. You'll find what works for you that brings that specific evidence and optimism and perspective to the situation. So really focus on accuracy over speed when you're initially using this skill. When you're combating those counterproductive thoughts, really focus on being accurate. This is an internal skill happening within your own mind, so only you will know if you truly have overcome that counterproductive thought. You have to go through this internal gut check is what we call it. Because since it's within your mind, only you will know if you've completely combated that counterproductive thought. If it's still lingering in your mind, you might need to add more specific evidence or layer on some optimism or perspective to the situation so that the counterproductive thought is completely combated within that moment. So again, I want to encourage deliberate usage because through deliberate usage, you'll find the personal statements that work for you, but you'll also develop that speed aspect over time as well. Well, this will become more and more automatic. Every time you're having a counterproductive thought about the task at hand, you'll be able to combat it and completely knock it out. So when it comes to racing, and over the course of a 10-mile run, many counterproductive thoughts can come into play. So I encourage you all to practice using RTR right away, or real-time resilience. As those counterproductive thoughts are occurring in your training, work towards combating them in the moment right then and there. So come race day, you're already combating those counterproductive thoughts automatically, and you already know the statements that are going to work for you personally. So if you have any questions about mental games or real-time resilience, feel free to reach out to the R2 Performance Center with any questions that you have. Thank you and have a great day.